just start now. For those of you who are not watching live, I'm just starting to record. We're just getting started and talking a little bit about sex and the challenges that we've been working through in our lives. Like I said, first time doing this. So here we go. Yeah, exactly. So feeling embarrassed and ashamed. And that's another thing that so often women are shamed for being sexual creatures. Like, okay, yeah, we have bodies that were designed for pleasure. And at the same time, we're shamed for enjoying pleasure, for instigating pleasure, for having pleasure with quote unquote too many people. Yeah, so all of these things are huge. And no matter where this guilt or shame comes up, it takes us so out of our body and out of the moments. And it really takes away from our pleasure and our fun. And I totally believe, oh, and let's see. Frankie also says, oh, the same about being gone down on, worried about all of that, even when he says he loves my smell and taste. Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing too. It's like our conscious cognitive mind is like, he's enjoying it. It's okay. Consensual sex is a beautiful thing. And then, but our subconscious, where we hold these deep held stories and beliefs that we have held since we were little, that's where it's like that comes up, and it's like that's what causes the contraction and the fear. And it's so hard to be in pleasure and in shame and contraction and fear at the same time. So yeah, yeah, so these are things that show up in the bedroom, but in my experience, it's really true what they say, that how we do one thing is how we do everything. So oftentimes, those of us who have these challenges with asking for what we want, for receiving pleasure, for using our voice, and for taking time for ourselves, we have that in every area of our lives. So it shows up in our career, it shows up in our other relationships, really everywhere. And so when I stepped into full sexual empowerment and really started working on these deep subconscious blockages, that it really started to change my life so much. And Robin says, I know that saying is something I really need to embody because it annoys me. Yeah, how we do one thing is how we do everything or all things. Yeah, exactly. It's so true. But the good thing about that is that when we change these, or when we heal and when we really deeply go into and work through these challenges in the bedroom, they change in every area of our life as well. And yes, it's a journey. And yes, it takes work and it doesn't happen overnight, but it's so fucking worth it. And you could go at it from other areas. A business coach, you could become empowered in your business, and it would help you in other areas of your life as well. But I personally just really fucking like sex, and I feel like it's an area that is so hush hush that I'm just like, we got to talk about this shit, we got to heal this shit. And so that's my mission in life. And yeah, so I've already talked a little bit about, Alana says, hell yeah. Yes, my dear. So we've already talked a little bit about my history, but like the reason why I can help women through these issues and why I am an effective coach and an effective guide is because I've literally been there myself. So, I think sometimes there's this tendency to see someone who is, in their sexual confidence and sexually empowered and be like, oh, well, you were probably born that way, or, it's just probably easier for some people than others. But let me tell you, I've done a fuck ton of work around this, and I still am. I still am on my personal journey. I mean, I remember the first couple times that I had sex, I was so excited to connect with my partner in this way. You see these romantic movies, and it's like, oh, we're going to take it to the next level. He's going to stick it in, and we're just going to be like orgasming together for like hours, and it'll be amazing. And like, Honestly, I didn't really feel that much at all during sex the first few times because I was so disconnected from my body. I was so just tense and contracted, and all of this shame and all of these things just came up. And yeah, and that led for me to be like, okay, well, either there's something wrong with me because clearly, this isn't the way that women are supposed to be, or there's something wrong with my partner and he doesn't know how to please me. Yeah, Lana says, some people say that their first time was pleasurable and mine hurt. Yeah, yeah. Some people's hurts and mine, yeah, it really it really didn't feel like much of anything. And so, and another one of the issues that I really struggled with a lot is the whole being in your head during sex. And so, yeah, that's a lot of, it can be like, oh, like I said before, am I taking too long, or is he having fun, or, what's he thinking about? What does my body look like? Or it could just be like, oh, what should I make for dinner? And I think I need to go to the store, like, and this could be during sex, but also self pleasure as well. And so, sex is amazing, and self pleasure is another thing that I feel gets really neglected a lot of times. It just gets into this like, oh, I'm really horny, or I'm really stressed, I need this release, and let's just come real fast. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. But there's just so many more dimensions to self pleasure, and it can be so fucking healing. It can be so nourishing for the body and the soul. It can literally be a connection to the divine, and just so amazing and so beautiful. Oh, okay. Dana says she's going to watch the recording. No worries, love. Thanks so much for coming by. It's good to see you. Yeah. So my sacred sexuality journey and my healing journey, like I mentioned, started about 6 years ago. And it's been a long journey, but it's really taught me how to speak my desires, how to communicate with my lovers, how to feel super comfortable in my body, feel at home in my body, and to be able to be fully present with my lovers or my partners in the moment, as opposed to somewhere else in my mind. So, what we're here to do today is to teach all of you and for me to share with you my three most potent secrets to sexual confidence so that you can really walk away feeling like you can apply these in your life to really start feeling lasting change. And again, this is amazing because it leads to more pleasure, it leads to more connection with your partners and yourself, it leads to more satisfaction, it leads to more playfulness as well. I think that's a really important one too. Just being able to be carefree and be wild and just, experiment and tell your partner, like, hey, let's try this new thing, and it just gets to be more fun instead of like, okay, am I doing this right, and there is no right or wrong. And so the first, and again, this will spill over into every area of your life. Exactly. Yeah, Lana says that's exactly what I want. Yes, exactly. So the first secret of sexual confidence is something that we already started to dive into at the beginning of this workshop today, and that's pleasure and getting yourself into pleasure. And I feel like this is something that seems so simple, but it's neglected so much because of the fact that women are taught from the time that they're so young that they are not worthy of taking time to receive pleasure. And they're taught to feel guilty for taking time for themselves. And it's kind of like this, who are you to, take time for self-care? Isn't there something else that you could be doing? It's something that a lot of times we observe our mothers or other females in our lives doing from the time that we're really young. I know that I did, watching your parents be this martyr, be this like victim person, always just like giving, giving, giving. And giving, of course, isn't wrong. But if you're giving from an empty cup, there's only so much that you can do before it completely depletes you. So this is a super long, super deep held pattern. And it does take a little bit of effort to change it because it's so ingrained in us, in our bodies and in our lineage as well. And so to actually consciously say, no, I'm going to take time to devote to giving myself pleasure, to filling up my cup so that I can walk out into the world feeling so full and feeling so nourished. Frankie says, right now I'm grieving my father's death and I have not been in the mood, and my partner doesn't understand why I don't want to have sex. I'm so sorry for your loss, my dear. And yeah, that's so hard, and it's so important to take that time to grieve and to feel those emotions in whatever way that comes up for you and however long that takes for you as well. So when we take time to devote to pleasure, that doesn't mean that we have to spend like an hour on these like long, involved pleasure practices. And, we can. I definitely love to do that sometimes. But at the end of the day, we're all busy people, and it doesn't really have to be that way. You can take 5 or 10 minutes for pleasure every day, and this could be sexual pleasure. It could be touching your pussy, giving yourself an orgasm. It could be sensual pleasure, just giving yourself a massage. Or it could be any kind of something that gives you pleasure. So it could be taking a bath, or I really like it to be like something to do with worshiping your body and just giving yourself that love, like even looking in the mirror and just complimenting yourself and telling yourself all the things that you like about yourself. So it doesn't have to be sexual, it doesn't have to be a long drawn out thing, but the more that you do this, and I promise you, if you do this for 1 week straight, you will start feeling a difference. You will start feeling and remembering. I was gonna say feeling like, but it's actually remembering that you're this fucking magical pleasure goddess who deserves to be worshipped, who deserves pleasure, and who requires pleasure. Our bodies are literally designed for pleasure. And so once you start giving your body pleasure, it starts to remember that and it starts to wake up to that. Lana says, I take a bath every morning and just sit with myself. I started about a month ago. Yes, that is so good. I love that. Yeah, I used to hate taking baths. Well, I used to think that I hated taking baths, but at the end of the day, it was just that I felt guilty for taking the time to just sit there and do nothing. And so at the end of the day, I love taking baths now. And so, yeah, the more that you start to feel worthy of receiving pleasure from yourself, it really does retrain your body and your subconscious brain the more that you do this. And so you'll start to realize that you're worthy of everything. You're worthy of all the things that your heart desires. And so you really stop playing small and you start taking up space and asking for what you want. Angie says, I think people have blocks to giving self pleasure due to conditioning and stuff. How can this be overcome? How does one learn to feel worthy? Exactly. So you're completely right about that. It's a huge block, and it's something that does take a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort. And that's one of the reasons why I recommend starting small. So just taking 5 or 10 minutes a day to do this. And at first, I don't want to say I guarantee, but it's very, very possible that uncomfortable feelings will come up. Maybe not the first time or the second time, but after a few days, that resistance will start to come up. And when that comes up, I really invite you to just feel that, whatever that is, whether it's guilt, whether it's just tension in your body, however that shows up for you. Don't start feeling guilty about feeling guilty and being like, oh my gosh, why am I not good at doing this? Now I'm not bad at giving myself pleasure and all of that. Instead, if you can just really sit with that feeling, notice how it feels in your body. So, yeah, you said learning to feel worthy. So that feeling of unworthiness or that feeling of that block, like where does that show up in your body? Noticing that, okay, I feel this contraction in my stomach, and breathing into that and just sitting with it. And instead of being like, oh, go away, this is kind of counterintuitive, but offering that feeling of block, of fear, offering it acceptance, because really what that is it's your subconscious mind trying to protect you. It's saying, okay, all my life, my mom and everyone around me told me that if I did this, I wasn't going to be a good woman, a good girl. And if I'm not a good girl, I'm not going to be accepted by society. And so that's that part of you coming up saying, this doesn't seem right. And so just holding that part of yourself and asking it, what do you need? Maybe it needs a hug. Maybe it just needs reassurance, like we're safe. This is okay. And it's a lot. So this is really what I work with my clients on in a lot more detail. But that's kind of the first step to get started with it, just sitting with it and feeling it, and then going back to the pleasure and noticing, okay, I can feel this pleasure even though this guilt is here. I can still continue on. I don't have to let it dictate my life and what I am not or am not going to do right now. So hopefully that helps. You can let me know if you have more questions about that. Robin says, I have this belief that I don't know how to do it, pleasure, sex, etc., because I haven't had a lot of partners and I haven't had sex in 2 years now. Yeah, well, sometimes it can be really beautiful to take that time. I actually recently took a whole year off from sex, and going back into it was really intense and also really beautiful. And yeah, I really hope that you're gentle with yourself during that time, when and if you do decide to go back into having partners. Angie says, Robin, boys are easy. The more they are into it, the more turned on they are. Yeah, boys are different. This is true. So, oh, the more into it, yeah, you are. Yes. Yes, exactly. And Carol says, I had amazing sex with a partner that made me feel sexual confidence. It opened up my whole being to confidence. The partner I have now doesn't make me feel that way. What can I do? Well, these tools that I'm going to give you right now, as well as the work that I do with my clients, if you want to delve deeper into it, is exactly for that. It's for, because a lot of times we do look for that confidence or that pleasure, or that feeling of feeling good outside of ourselves. And so it's really about cultivating and connecting with that within ourselves. And it's a little bit longer of a process than I have time to explain today. But at the end of this program, or at the end of this, I'll tell you a little bit about another way that you can work with me if you're interested in diving more into it. So I want to go into now the second secret for sexual confidence. The first one was reconnecting with your pleasure and giving yourself pleasure, and trying that every day for a week and 5 minutes a day, and just seeing how that feels for you. And if you try any of these things, I'd love for you to let me know how they go. I'm so curious as well. So, the second tool for sexual confidence is to reconnect with the part of yourself that is literally already within you, that knows how to be this sexual, wild, confident, amazing, sensual person. And this part of us is within every single one of us. Some of you may be like, oh, yeah, I already know that part of me. And some of you may not be so familiar with that part of yourself. And either way, I can promise you that it's there. The thing that happens is that in our society, not only is it discouraged for women to, Lana says mine is caged up. Yeah. Not only is it discouraged for women to be sexual creatures in our society, it's actually dangerous sometimes. And we're taught that from a young age. And so it's no wonder that this part of ourselves that um, is so wild and free and confident in the bedroom and beyond is pushed down it becomes a shadow self. It becomes a part of ourself that we might not even recognize. And so rather than explaining how to do this, I really want to invite you into a practice around it right now. Frankie says, totally in tune with mine, but sometimes it gets too much attention. Yeah, and that's the thing also. It's, you can learn how to bring it in when the time is right and then take it out when the time is right too. I wish that we didn't have to do that, but sometimes we do. So I want to invite you into a visualization around this. And visualization is a super powerful tool for connecting with your subconscious brain and rewiring your brain. Some of you may know already that there's parts of our brain that can't tell the difference between whether we are imagining something in great detail and whether it's actually happening. So doing this visualization and really feeling into it in as much detail as possible will really start to rewire your brain and start to reconnect you to this beautiful part of yourself. So I'm going to share my music with y'all. Let's see. Okay, that should be good. This is my first time doing this, so let's see if it works. Can you hear the music? Yes, and if I'm talking like this, too loud or is it good? Good? Okay, perfect.
Come, my love.
So I want to invite you to just take a moment to close your eyes if that feels safe. And just take a deep breath, breathing into your body,
I am at
nothing
your
more than
feet in sweet, sweet surrender.
you. I want you to take a moment to invite in, to invite to connect your most empowered, confident, sensual, sexual self. Maybe this is a part of you that you are already familiar with, like to play with. Maybe it's a part of yourself that you felt very love during a sexy dancing. There's a certain outfit that you wear that really brings. So, and so really just feeling into, you can feel this part of yourself. And if it's not a part that you're super connected to, allowing yourself to just imagine what it would be like to connect with this part of yourself for the first time. Just inviting the invitation of this part of yourself that it feels so connected to pleasure, that feels so worthy of asking for and receiving everything that she needs, that is fully present while you love or and allowing her for a moment that feels to step out into your body a little bit more fully. If you're not feeling to her, it's okay as well. Just letting whatever is in this moment. Starting to invite yourself to imagine what life would be like if you allow this part of yourself to step forward just a little bit more. Not all the time, and the times that you desire. Really what you might be there, if anything, as yourself stepped out into your life. Noticing what you might see around yourself. just pouring out into really starting to feel this reality, not as though it's a visualization, but as though it's happening right now. Noticing what you might hear around you. What would you say? What might others be saying to you? What might you feel? What might you feel touching on your body? What might you feel inside? What kind of sensation? Noticing what might you smell? What kind of scents would be around you in this beautiful reality? And lastly, what you might taste in your mouth. Taking a moment to bask in this delicious reality, feeling it to be true. Taking some breaths into it. Noticing now what kind of sensations do you feel in your body when you connect to this part of yourself? What makes you feel like you want to stand up a little taller? Feel a heat or a tingling in your low belly or your pussy. Maybe you feel nothing at all. Just allowing whatever is
You
to be present and feeling it,
are
breathing
the sun
into
of
it,
inspiration
and
in my
allowing
house
yourself
and God
to let this part of yourself express for a
of
moment.
me.
So, seeing how it might like to move, seeing what kind of sound it might want to make. Just staying with it for another moment. Seeing if you'd like to give this part of yourself a name. And knowing that now that you're even more intimately connected with her, you can invite her out to play anytime you want. Yeah, bringing her consciously a little bit more deeply into your life if this feels good to do so. Really just remembering, letting yourself remember how it feels to have this part of yourself alive. Taking just a couple more breaths here. And knowing that you can reconnect with her at any time you want to. Coming back when you're ready. And if there's anything you'd like to share about how that was for you, what did you feel? What did you see? What is the name of this super sexy part of yourself? And the way that I would encourage you to utilize this in your actual life, first of all, you can sit with this part of yourself and call her out and bring her into your body. And if you didn't feel a lot this time, that's totally fine. The more that you do, the deeper that connection will be. And then you can actually start to invite her out in these times that you want to um, feel more sexually confident. So, whether that's when you're having sex with a partner, maybe you want to ask someone out, maybe you are on the dance floor and you're feeling safe and you just really want to let it be free and wild. And you can even try it in non sexual situations, really just feeling into that confidence piece, letting this part of yourself that knows how to get this done, how to do it, and how to have fun with it, letting this part of yourself take the lead. Robin says, it's good for me to remember not to have expectations about how it should feel. Exactly. If you try it again tomorrow, it may feel completely different. And there's no right or wrong. Lana says, just letting that happen felt like I untied my hands from behind my back, like releasing me from being trapped in anxiety. Yeah, exactly. Letting this part of you be free. And again, we can't always let her out all the time, but there's certain times when you are safe and it's the perfect time to let this part of yourself come out and let her know you don't have to be in the shadows 24/7 anymore. You don't have to be repressed. I don't have to be holding you in shame. Letting her out to play. Hmm, beautiful. So, I want to share the third secret of sexual confidence with you. Remembering the first one was pleasure and giving yourself pleasure. The second one, connecting with these parts of yourself that already know how to be fully sexually confident and empowered. And the third secret is reconnecting with our sexual energy. So, our sexual energy is this fucking amazingly powerful force, pure fire, pure pleasure, literally pure life force energy. And this is another thing that we're never taught about. We're never taught, oh, by the way, you have like this fucking force of nature between your legs that you can connect to for ultimate pleasure, full body orgasms, clearing old blocked energy and stagnant bullshit from your body and your life. It's amazing. And so, some of you may be familiar with chakras. We're not going to go into a full um, conversation and teaching about chakras today, but basically, if you're not familiar, they are super potent and powerful energy centers within our body. And there's 7 of them, and each of them represent different qualities and different attributes within our lives, and we can empower them further with breath and meditation. So, our sexual energy typically rests in our first chakra. So, that's located in the cervix for those with a cervix and the perineum for everyone else. And just connecting to this energy alone is super fucking powerful and delicious. Today, I'm going to lead us through a practice and invite you to connect to this energy and then also invite it up through the body, focusing on 2 different chakras that, if they are blocked or if they're not super connected with us, they can really inhibit our sexual confidence and our ability to speak our truth and to fully be present in the world. So the first one is the solar plexus chakra. So that's right here. And that one is all about our agency, our willpower, our self esteem, and our personal power. So just being fully empowered in the world and in our life. And then the second one will be our throat chakra. And this one is all about speaking our truths, communication, setting our boundaries, and speaking our voice out into the world. And so you can imagine how bringing this super delicious, potent sexual energy up through these different chakras will be so empowering. And it'll be about infusing the energy, the sexual energy with these 2 different areas, and then also clearing out any old stagnant energy that's no longer serving us in our lives and in our sexuality. So, just a couple things to keep in mind if you have done this kind of work before or you haven't. Either way, kind of like we were talking about earlier, you may experience a lot. It may be very intense, or it may be you don't feel a lot. And so, I really encourage you to just make your experience right and trust that your body is doing exactly what it needs to do to heal. Once you connect in with the energy, you may feel like your body wants to move, it wants to maybe sound. And so I really encourage you to let that happen and just know that that's a really powerful way for your body to clear anything that it doesn't need anymore. You can do this practice at your own pace. So, feeling free to just take a break if you want. It's probably going to be just under 10 minutes long. So, just enough time for us to really dive in and connect. You can add in sensual touch or massage if you'd like. We aren't going to be doing any sexual touch or nudity for this practice, but it's something that you can absolutely add into your own pleasure practice and even into your pleasure practice with other people, sex as well, or whatever type of pleasure you want to invite anyone else into. So, with the breath, you can keep your breath deep and full. You can also, if you want to intensify it a little bit, you can do a connected breath. But if you do that, I really encourage you to just do it gentle and soft. So that would be a breath with no pause between the inhale and the exhale, in and out through the mouth. And it will sound something like this. So if you have any questions about that, you can share in the chat. Um, Go ahead and put the music just very soft. And I think if I do that, it's going to be hopefully okay with my voice. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, so I really lower than this, more low, or it's good. Okay, yeah. So maybe I'll just do it like that. Okay, perfect. Oh, sometimes it gets all right. Yeah, I'll just put it on the lowest one and see if that works. All right, so I'll really encourage you all. Yeah, you can let me know. Perfect. Thanks, love. Appreciate it. So, for this practice, it's good to have your spine straight, sitting comfortably. You can close your eyes if it feels safe to do so. And just really beginning by taking a few deep cleansing breaths. Again, dropping out of the head into the body. And if you resonated with the empowered part of yourself that you connected with last time, I invite you to bring her back in. So, really inviting that super empowered part of yourself. If you gave her a name, you can say her name, invite her in, just breathing, connecting with your body. And as you breathe, I really want to invite you to send your breaths all the way down through your chest, down through your belly, all the way down to your pelvic area. Using your breath to begin to connect with your pussy, with your pleasure, with your cervix. Allowing this part of yourself to wake up. Bringing in an if it feels good, you can also sit in stillness. Remembering you can also bring in sensual touch, really bringing back that pleasure from the beginning. Pleasure, connection to your body. And as you do, beginning to feel a beautiful glowing pearl ball of energy awakening in your cervix or in your pussy area. And as you breathe in, you breathe in breath and new life to this pearl ball of sexual energy. And as you breathe out, it begins to spin, it begins to awaken, it begins to become more powerful. Awakening this force that has been within you since birth. always ready to be really connected with. Taking a few more breaths to fully activate this sexual, sensual, life force energy. And as you do, when you feel like this energy is awakened, to the point where you can begin to invite it up, using your breath and intention, inviting this energy up through the pussy, through the belly, to your solar plexus. And feeling this energy flow into beautiful power center in your solar plexus. Feeling this energy ignite your inner fire. Feeling it awaken your personal power in the world, in the bedroom, everywhere. Feeling yourself stepping into agency. Feeling yourself feeling so powerfully worthy of receiving. Allowing this delicious energy to flow through, and as you breathe in, breathing it all the way into the solar plexus, breathing it out and spinning this energy all the way through. And as you do, as it becomes more and more powerful, allowing it to just naturally, with your breath and intention, clear away anything that is no longer serving you. Letting it release any times when you did not step into your power, any times that someone else told you, no, I got this, any times that you didn't feel fully worthy in the past. Breathing it out. Breathing in complete empowerment. Breathing in that fire. Taking a few more breaths here. When you feel ready, inviting that energy to flow up through to the throat chakra, flowing it all the way from the pussy up through the chest, the solar plexus, through the throat, all the way out the mouth. And as it does, allowing it to empower your voice, empowering your communication, empowering yourself to fully speak your truth in the world. And as you breathe in, letting this energy grow, and if it feels good, exhaling with a sigh or a sound. Any times that you didn't speak your voice, any times that you were told not to speak your truth, clearing that out. Letting it flow out through the mouth. Letting it be replaced. So much powerful ability to speak worlds, bedroom, your lovers, partners, with yourself. Breaths here. And as you feel already, allowing this beautiful, powerful energy to flow from your pussy, through your solar plexus, out through your throat, and up through the top of your head now. Flowing out and filling up your entire energy body, making you, allowing you to become completely magnetic to all your desires in this world, your sexual desires, your desires for love, your desires for wealth, desires to be seen, letting it flow through your entire feeling how fucking powerful you are, feeling this beautiful, powerful energy sinking into every area of your body, knowing that you can connect with and awaken this energy anytime you please. Taking a few more breaths here. Now you can choose whether you want to allow this energy to continue to circulate through your body, or whether you prefer to allow it to return back to your cervix, your first chakra, where it will rest and wait for you for any time that you need it. Give it a couple more breaths. Bask in this delicious energy. And when you're ready, coming back to meet with me. And when you feel ready, if there's anything that you'd like to share about your experience in the chats, how it felt, how you feel now. Mhm. Anna says, that is the way to meditate. That was amazing. Thank you. Ah, you are so welcome. Yes, it's been so amazing to share these three secrets of sexual confidence with you. And like I said, when you try them, which I hope you do in your life, if they resonated with you, please let me know how they go and how you feel afterwards. Antoinette said that felt great, inspired to study Tantra. Yes, yes, it's so good. Frankie says, I always have a hard time focusing and getting out of my head. Yeah, it's a big one. I do too, for sure. It's so, I mean, we're just so in our head all the time. And it's so beautiful to be able to just take this time to be with our bodies and really truly feel them. So I have an exciting announcement for you all. As I mentioned earlier, I really want to share a way that you can continue to work with me if you've enjoyed what you learned today. I've so adored every single one of you, and your energy and your communication and engagement has been so beautiful. And so I'm super excited to announce that I am inviting everyone here to my new group program. It's an 8-week group program, and it's called Boss Babe in the Bedroom and Beyond. I've been working on this for a couple of months now, and I know it's just going to be completely incredible. This program is for you if you're ready to reconnect fully to your sexuality, your confidence, and your pleasure, so that you can not only experience the sex life that you've always desired and fantasized about, but also magnetize your desires in and outside of the bedroom. So today we've been over 3 super powerful keys for sexual confidence. But as I also mentioned, there's only so much time that we have in an hour. And to really get this deep, lasting transformation, it's really important to have more time and space. So I designed this program to be super interactive, super immersive. It's definitely not going to be one of those programs where I like throw a bunch of worksheets and modules and things and just ask you to figure it out on your own. This is going to be something where you have Monday through Friday access to me in our Facebook group. We'll be creating a community of women where we can all learn and grow together, and I'll be there to support. We'll also have weekly group coaching, and it's going to be a small group. So we'll have some one-on-one time and really get to know each other. I really feel like if you've taken the time to show up today and stay here till the end, that something within you is ready to release the old guilt, ready to release the old shame, and step into your full sexual empowerment and pleasure. So what I'm going to do is I'll share the link to the info page in the chat. This has all of the details, and I really would encourage you, since you're here and you clearly have it. Oops, I sent that to just one person. You have an interest in this, to at least go to the page and really check it out and really make a conscious, informed decision on whether this is the right next step for you. And if you have even just some kind of a little pool of excitement to it, book a free call with me and we'll get to know each other better. You'll learn even more about the program. We'll talk in depth about your specific goals and desires and how they translate into the program and whether it's a good fit for you. Lana says, I've been working on my mindfulness and being in this moment, and I feel like this is synchronistic. Fuck yeah. I'm going to share my screen with you now because I want to, let's see, how do we do this? I want to share with you a few things uh, from the site. Let's see. Can you see this? Boss babe in the bedroom? Okay, good. Literally first time doing this. So Boss Babe in the Bedroom, this is a program for reconnecting to your confidence, sensuality, and empowerment so that you can experience more pleasure in and outside of the bedroom. And yeah, it goes so far beyond just sex. That's what we're going to be focusing on. It's going to be very sexually focused, focused on waking up the pussy and the body, but really this will transform your entire fucking life. I'm not going to go through everything on here right now, but just some of the highlights. And so this program is for you if you're a woman who's ready to release old guilt, shame, and blockages around your sexuality and embrace true worthiness so that you can unleash the confident pleasure goddess who's already within you. You may have already felt her a little bit today. She's in there and she's wanting to step the fuck out. This program's for you if you're noticing the consequences of not fully using your voice and speaking your truth. And like we talked about earlier, a lot of times this is during sex and in the rest of your life to some extent, just because of all the conditioning that we've had for so long around sit down and be quiet and look nice and smile and all that shit. And you're ready to step into your power. This program's for you if you feel like there has to be something more to sexuality than you've been experiencing and you're ready to discover what the fuck it is. Trust me, there's a lot more to sexuality than what most of us have ever been told. This program's for you if you'd like to take your sex life and relationships to the next level with more communication, more intimacy, and more orgasmic bliss. And this program is for you if you're ready to take back control of your pleasure, your body, and your life. It's an 8-week course, as I mentioned. You will get a video module every week explaining the topic for the week and delving into the details of that. I'll also be giving you a guided practice customized to what we're working on that week that you'll be doing on your own to really start ingraining the change and the transformation and the rewiring in your body and your subconscious minds. We'll be doing group live coaching every week. Like I mentioned, I'm keeping the group small because I really want to get to know each and every one of you and have time for us to have that one-on-one. If you are wanting additional one-on-one sessions, we can do upgrade to the VIP and you can have some group sessions or group sessions and one-on-one sessions. Journal prompts each week to really help you to take the material that we're learning and apply it to your life and really feel into it on a deep level. And then you'll get the course for life. I'm also including an exclusive Facebook group. Like I said, I really want this to be a community of women who grow together, who support each other, just kind of the opposite of what a lot of us have been taught about how to be with other women as well. So supportive community. I'll be in there Monday through Friday. And on the last week, we're doing a super fucking potent, juicy, amazing wild woman ritual and celebration. All along here, there's links to book the free call with me. So you can just click on that and it goes right to my schedule. And this is what we'll be exploring each week. So the first week, most essential, you can't be fully sexually empowered if you're not in deep self-love and self-care. We touched a little bit on this today, but we'll be diving even deeper into how to connect with that self-love within and how to practice exquisite self-care. Week two, we'll be going into body love. So again, we touched on this today, releasing those old inhibitions and negative ideas and feelings about our bodies we've been holding on to for so long that can really inhibit us from experiencing playfulness and enjoyment during sex. Week three, we'll be doing some inner child work, which is so fucking important, and really going back to visit where do we pick up all these old limiting beliefs and these old sexual ideas about what it means to be a sexual woman and rewriting those stories consciously for the future. Week four, pussy love and pleasure, reconnecting to your pussy, reconnecting to your body for more sensitivity and more orgasmic bliss. Then week five, one of the main challenges that I work with my clients on is releasing shame and judgment. And this is something where shame and judgment comes up and haunts us so often during sex, like we talked about before. So really bringing that to the surface so that we can feel it and heal it. Week six, boundaries, power, and speaking our truths. Feeling what is a yes? What is a no? What does that mean to me? And how does it feel in my body? And getting comfortable with expressing it to our lovers and to the world. Week seven, feeling safe to be seen in our sexiness. So, like we talked about, women aren't always safe to be seen in their sexiness. And because of that, sometimes we put up a wall around ever being seen in our sexiness. And that can really inhibit us from being playful and wild and free with our trusted partners or with ourselves. Week eight, we're going to be exploring sexual archetypes, playing with the different sexual archetypes, so different qualities of our sexuality and different parts of our sexuality, and reconnecting with our inner wild woman. This is a little bit about my story. Like I mentioned, I am a living, breathing example of the transformation that this exact work can do. There's no coincidences in life. And if you're reading this is your sign to step up. You can come on here and read a little bit about my reviews from clients. This is a little bit more about me, some FAQs. This program starts August 2nd, so just about a month from now. And yeah, why not let today be the day that you choose freedom and empowerment around your sexuality? The cart closes, it opens today. Y'all are the first to know about it. And I do only have 10 spots available. So for the first 5 people who sign up, I'm also offering a bonus one-on-one coaching call, a 60-minute coaching call with me. So that'll really allow us to delve deeper into your personal goals and challenges. We'll develop a roadmap for how to work through those. We'll dive into some of those challenges and blockages on the call. And then I'll also record a personalized audio guided practice that you can continue to have and continue to work deeper and deeper on that. So that is my program. I'm super fucking excited. And like I said, even if you're just a little bit curious about it, I'd recommend checking out the page and booking a free call. It's free, you don't have anything to lose. And I would love to spend an hour chatting with each and every one of you and telling you more about it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the